Hello, beautiful people of the world. Doing a bit of an outdoor walking video today, reminding me of my original videos way back when. So I wanted to talk about Aquarius today. And I guess firstly to start with a metaphor that's been on my mind, that the mind is a sword. And no, I'm not an original person to that thought in terms of, in the original tarot deck, the swords represent the mind. However, to ruminate on that a bit, swords can really only cut things. I do find the mind to be a divisive tool. For example, if you think of the concept blue, you can cut it into so many different pieces. You can look at it from a molecular level, you can look at it from a light spectrum level, you can look at it from a poetic meaning, you can look at the symbolism in the world through that, and you can cut it, and you can cut anything really up into the atom. And I think that this is something that is being overused in humanity. We're trying so hard to cut everything into the smallest parts of itself and to try to understand something. But I think that in doing that, we're losing the meaning of it all and the true understanding of it all. When you work from the heart space and you feel, there's a unity and a wholesome cohesion there. I think the heart is trying to bring everything back to a place of center and a place of oneness. And I feel as if the mind is trying to divide everything. And I think that scattered, fractalized perspective of our reality and ourselves and the way we operate throughout life is detrimental to our very existence. And we can see that all over the place when we make decisions with that sword instead of from our heart space. So I mean this to say, to just be ironically mindful, in the sense that a sword on the ground can't do anything, right? Someone has to be wielding that. You're wielding that in your head. And I think it's good to have it there. It's a big part of who we are. But I think the closer we get to division, the further away we get from the truth. And this all to bring into Aquarius energy, I think the air signs are often associated with the mind, and Aquarius is often associated with the mind. And I think it's maybe important to get this back to an ancient understanding. I think modern interpretations of Aquarius very often point to innovation and technology and inventions and the future, and a very high level mind and social media and these sorts of connections. However, I think that the real core of Aquarius is a connection to humanity and feeling part of the world as a whole, and all of the fibers and nerves and sinews that go in that process. And it's not that sword that cuts everything and makes us hate each other and fight and pick apart what is different about you versus me. But Aquarius is really saying, in a heart-centered way, that it wants to unify all of us together as a collective humanity, without all of this nonsense and without all of the technology and the craziness and the fakeness and the social media and all of it. Those, I think, are all distractions from what we're really here to do. Even though they can be used to connect us, what kind of connection is that? I think it is a much different connection than what a lot of us are looking for. And I think so many people feel isolated right now. And I think that all of the people in power certainly have a lot of swords at their disposal, don't they? And they know quite how to cut us apart. Pluto is now in Aquarius. Pluto tends to spend about 11 to 30 years in a sign. I've been tracking it in Pluto for a while, and I don't really remember studying astrology when it wasn't in Pluto. So I don't have an exact year for you, but it's finally in Aquarius now, meaning there's going to be very huge cosmic shifts for everybody. And the next 10, 20 years, I'd have to look up how long it's going to be, but certainly at least the next 10 years are going to be about restructuring humanity, reconfiguring how we are interconnected with each other, how we are creating society through those interactions, and whether or not we make it in the future. It really depends on a lot in the near future, because I think we can all feel that we're at a bit of a crisis point. Things have completely fallen apart as part of Pluto and Capricorn. The patriarchy, the government, the structures, the corporations, the factories, all of these bodies that have dominated tyrannically for as long as I can remember, and throughout history, are falling apart. Not all of them, and it's a bit of a slow process in some ways, but I mean, we can all see how the world changed when we stopped being connected to each other through COVID, when that sword spliced through fucking everything. What were we left with? Where are we now? Where do we go from here? I think these are questions that we need to try to answer. And maybe there isn't an answer, but I think to know in your heart and hold a space for a united, healthy, connected humanity is so much more energetically powerful than anything the mind can really accomplish. I think we have to hold space and vulnerability to love one another, to trust one another, to listen to one another, and to build together as a community and as a species. And it goes beyond humanity in so many ways with the planet, and we are all connected in this living organism of Earth and beyond. But as far as Aquarius goes, specifically, it communicates about the human soul. And right now, the Sun and Mercury are there with Pluto at 0 degrees. It's really just getting its start there, but the Sun and Mercury are opening the way. And Venus and Mars will be there in a week or so. There will be 5 planets in Aquarius for a while. So it's certainly a big energy this month. And I think the best way to really move forward with that is to remember and get into connection with what it means to be a human on Earth right now. What do you want that to mean? What could it mean? And to seek out connection with others. It has been so difficult over the last few years to genuinely truly let people in and to get out there and to be a part of life. Things are permanently different now, but I think it is imperative that we go out and find like-minded people and get involved in our local communities and interests, because our friends and our family and our community is so integral to the human experience on just an evolutionary biological level. We need that to function, to feel happy, to feel safe, to feel purpose and meaning in life. And without everything, it's just a bit gray, you know? So I guess what I wanted to say is, when you're able to put down your sword for just a minute and to just feel, as scary as that is, I think it's really important that all of us do that right now. And the collective influence of that is more powerful than you know. I hope everyone out there is doing well, and I wish you success and friendship and connection and love and community over the next few months as we usher in this new energy. Take care.